Hello and good evening for this Sunday, August 20th, 2023. We have just finished watching episode 8 of Big Brother 25, the week 3 HOH competition and nomination episode. But we're just getting started here on Super Mario Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Or you might be listening to us on the audio version. I'm Dave Mader, joined with Jaemeel Robinson.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
We're back.
sir.
We're back. I apologize, folks. There was supposed to be a Thursday show, and unfortunately, I could not watch the show at all. There was some technical difficulties. One, first with my computer, and then secondly, also with the provider that I have. It also trailed into Friday, so the Friday show was canceled. So we got a lot of work to do, a lot of catch up to do.
Yeah, well, good point. Yeah, and you're right. We weren't here on Thursday. You're right. Me, Foster, Jeff were all engaged with a social function, and therefore it was only Jaemeel left, and Jaemeel was disposed, so there was no way to have the show. So Jaemeel, we're also catching up post the Riley eviction. Who went out unanimously on Thursday.
A post-Riley world, if you will.
We're living in a post-Riley. Good point. And she was my draft pick, although not a high draft pick for me. I got her like third to last in the draft, in the snake draft. However, I considered picking her in the first round. I thought she was a strong contender. And
she went absolutely.
I'm a little disappointed to see her go out as early as she had here, but that's how it goes. So.
It was a lot closer than what the television presented.
Right.
A lot closer.
We got a little bit of that in this episode tonight, showing how her alliance, voted her out, considering that they knew they didn't have the votes, didn't necessarily want to have that line in the sand, as you say, wanted to be, leave things a little bit more copacetic, and there's some potential there for new alliances or other things instead of trying to be more split right down the votes, which causes a little bit more friction often in the house. So, Riley goes out. She's also shocked to find out that Sari and Jared are mother and son.
Which I guess because I know already, it seems so obvious. But just looking at them, their facial structure, right? Yeah. It just seems so obvious. I don't really understand it.
I don't get it either. Obviously, Izzy figured it out immediately. And I don't think, so obviously some people can do it, but it seems not to be a high percentage of the population based on the house, at least. So it is what it is. We saw a little bit of how Matt's sad she's gone in this episode tonight for the week 3. But Jaemeel, I'm kind of skipping to the ahead here, but Felicia wins HOH. How do you feel about all this? She's doing the dancing. She's going on here. She's the oldest house guest ever, 63 years old, and she's doing pretty well.
Miss Felicia reminds me of my mom in many respects. So it would be so weird, and I would be just elated if my mom was able to win HOH competition, beating athletes and models. Sure, it was like, a hole-in-one putting challenge, a mini golf challenge. Nonetheless, she still won. The record shows that she has as many wins as she has more wins than Jared does and Matt.
Right. And it was interesting here with this challenge tonight because it was a little less. You didn't have to be an amazing athlete to win this challenge. There was some strategy involved, but it was kind of a little bit of a crapshoot. And so,
okay, a little house clearing. I'm not going to be able to actually get past this until we just clear the air.
Let's clear the air.
Clear the air. We have a friend of the podcast, Sam. One could say number one fan. He says he has some information he needs to drop. Sam, we're indulging you. Mm-hmm. Don't abuse this, okay?
Yeah.
He says he has a confession to make.
Okay.
Right? And he thinks he has a new girl. For those who, this is their first time listening, watching, welcome. It's always good to have. Welcome to the family. Sam has a particular set of skills, a particular individual type. He is a type, right? We see it in every show. Sam lets us know.
Ladies,
Riley.
he likes ladies, and usually the very beautiful looking ladies. I would say.
Okay. So now he says he has a new girl. Riley was his girl this season. He picked one
Yes,
every season,
but no more
right?
Riley. Riley's
So
gone. Well, she's on the outside of the house now, Sam. So technically, she's even more attainable than she
okay.
was before.
So wait, Sam, we're going down this road with you. He says, "Are any of you guys watching the Challenge USA?" Sam, this is a Big Brother podcast, so we don't really talk about.
Are we crossing the streams here? Like if Foster was here, he'd be delighted, but he's not
have
here.
A conversation with Foster. This is not us.
Drop by on Wednesday. Foster will indulge your challenge questions probably more readily.
So if this girl is on the challenge and not on Big Brother, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. All right. If she was on Big Brother, I'll accept it. But if she's like she was on The Amazing Race or something, and now she's on this, I don't care. I don't.
Okay. Sam has not provided the answer. The wheels are going. Sam, we might talk about this at the end. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's continue on.
Yeah. Okay. So Jaemeel, back to this challenge tonight, which was not the most skillful challenge. However, there was some strategy involved. You had to I think Felicia had the right idea. However, it wasn't like a great endurance or anything you had to go on a balance beam or do something very, very physically demanding, which he doesn't always. I don't need that in every HOH. However, it's giving a little bit more opportunity to Felicia, perhaps, and others to the older side to win these challenges. Versus in Big Brother Canada, it feels like most of those challenges are more built around being athletically competitive, right? Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of a different.
I like crapshoot comps because it gives more of an opportunity for things to swing in a direction that doesn't necessarily favor the big strong individuals in the big strong alliance. So you give me a crapshoot where it's like you have to cut a deck and whoever lucks out wins. I'm all for it. So but before a little sidetrack, we are joined by Jeff from the Jeffries Tube, and I just wanted to mention, because I didn't say it to him because I was really hoping he was going to show up today. A happy belated birthday, Jeff.
Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes. 34, the big one.
Well, yes. You're officially old in Big Brother terms.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
You would be in the professors. You wouldn't be in the handful or now. So
no, that's right.
It would be a different era.
That doesn't look good though. I don't know about these professors.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Jeff. So, the professors have won consecutive weeks of power. However, they're looking to target each other here. As Felicia, I'm skipping to the end. She wins power here tonight, and she ultimately wants to backdoor Hisam. She's telling everybody, especially the other side, that they have to put up Cameron, and ultimately Jag goes up to. And but don't worry, you two. I want one of you to win the veto, so I can put Hisam next to you. And then we'll vote on Hisam, and then whatever, I guess, is sort of that's the part I don't really understand in her pitch. Is sort of okay, we get out Hisam, and then what? What is the plan then? What is it in for me? Why would I want to play ball?
Here's the thing: the house unanimously does not like this dude. He rubbed people so poorly. He rubbed Matt and a lot of the people with the speech to Riley during the nomination and veto meetings. He also we don't know, but something has happened during the veto comp where he beat Matt, and people still feel particularly way. Matt feels a particular way against Hisam due to it. So there's a lot of energy, and when the house as a collective whole can just say pause on everything else and just say we don't like this dude, you might as well do it. That's one less week of of high tensions, of battling. And if you can kind of redirect where you create inroads to the other side, why not?
Jeff, how do you feel about Hisam? After these now here in week 3 of this game.
Yeah, he's kind of shot himself in the foot. And I think if he just kept his mouth shut and he'd do well, but I just don't see him recovering from this because he's pissed off a lot of the ladies and that gets around, where
And
it's
some of
just
the fellas.
some of the fellas, but mostly I think he's rubbed the ladies the wrong way. Quite a bit. From each clip, it's just like they start talking and he talks over them, and it's just kind of I don't think goes well for him.
There's 3 people who do that: Hisam, Red, and Cameron. Constantly talk over the women.
Okay, well that's not gonna serve them well.
No, it won't. That's like a cat. Like Amanda kept saying tonight, she's just like, and I think it's kind of acknowledged but like the creep factor of Cameron.
Oh,
it's just like the way he sits, his body language and stuff, and the way I don't know, it gives off odd vibes, I think. But nobody's really talking about that as much in the house.
It's Hisam, because Hisam's had power. He's won so many competitions, so many, in fact, that he needs someone else to win.
I've already won enough competitions. It's time for someone else to win and put the target on their back.
People saw what happened last year. They don't want someone who looks like they can win a variety of challenges. They want to get that person out, right? So, yeah, they're not going to let that happen at all. Any momentum kind of deal. And it's still really early in the game, so
I think that more people would feel better if he wasn't in the jury phase, and he's kind of just somebody I think they'd rather not live with. I'm starting to get that impression. Because I don't think that Felicia is any dummy or any kind of pushover. I don't get that impression from her at all. But she's not. With Hisam, she's not even going to try to talk him down. She's just kind of telling what he wants to hear tonight in this episode. While he's doing his pitch, she's like, "Well, you got to put Jag up, and Jag's this, and da 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 da." And he's talking over her, and she's annoyed, but she's just like, she just surrenders to it. She doesn't try to fight it. So I don't know if that's too passive or if that's actually really smart, because ultimately, getting on Hisam, it requires this. This requires this patience here, that she has to kind of just take her time, wait for the right opportunity, put Hisam up on the block after this post veto. And then she's the hero of the house, for going perhaps into the jury phase, not putting a huge target on her back in the process, but also gaining the most political clout. She can get this great notch without actually seeming like, oh well, you got Hisam out, but that's what everyone wanted anyway. Anybody could have done that. So sometimes that gets overlooked. I feel like that's what Derek did in Big Brother 16 when he got out Davan,
who had a daughter.
As well. Well, I guess they have that in common. And but when Derek got him out, it was like, okay, great, thanks, Derek. You did a solid for all of us. And then no one talked about Derek as much after that. And then there was always other targets and other people, and there was sort of always something else going on here. I feel like that could be this time around here.
I think that's because Derek, though, knew not to put his foot in his mouth. Whereas this Hisam guy, he can't help himself. Actually, many of the players this year.
Right, but Felicia is my Derek in this situation.
Right. Well, Derek, yeah. Well, Felicia, I said to Amanda, if I were Felicia, I would want Jag out this week. That's who I would. Because why get rid of Hisam when more?
He's loyal to you.
Well, not even loyal to you, but other players want him out more than you.
Right. Well, that's for Sari too. I think they're just tired of him. I think Izzy really can't stand him. Clearly, I feel like it's gone beyond game, but really they should keep him. He seems completely loyal to them. He wins competitions, and everyone hates him anyway. He's not going to win the game, so he's not. You don't have to get him out this week.
That's the perfect person to keep around. Sorry, Jaemeel, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the reasons why also you don't want him. I'm just saying from their perspective is he's going to tie your hand behind your back in the sense that he does not believe in backdooring, which is nonsensical in this game, especially with the people that he's playing with, right? Is Sari, Felicia, is he going to beat Matt and Jag and some of these athletic dudes by just straight up putting them on the block? No. There's going to be a little bit of subterfuge that has to occur, right? So, you saying you shouldn't play this way. You're dictating these terms and these rules that benefit you and not the members of your team, right? Then at the same time, Heisman has been putting a lot of work in Cameron and trying to draw Cameron and Red in, right? And the team, the professors are nervous about that. That if things keep going the way they are, Cameron's going to bring in people and he's going to be in charge of the Lions.
Right.
So why if you're able to get Cameron and Red in and kind of cut Heisman off where he's no longer there, Cameron and Red are dependent on you to be a part of the alliance as opposed to the connecting tissue being Heisman with them.
Okay, I have another question I need to segue to here, which is, do you feel like there's a number of these house guests that you don't even really know at all yet on the show? Like that they haven't really had much time, such as even Red. I would even put McCole in this conversation, and Bowie Jane a little bit, and Corey. Like they're hardly on the show in the diary room at all, especially.
Where to start? McCole, the feeds lover, because she goes into the kitchen room, where all the food is, the storage room, and she just does monologues where she tries to calm herself down, especially after having conversations with Izzy, because Izzy's just really all over the place. Izzy keeps speaking her mind in a you shouldn't really say that out loud type of way, right? We saw a little bit of Jared and Blue's relationship blooming, and Izzy made it known that she doesn't like it at all, and that word got back to Jared, right? And Jared's like, Suri, I think we're gonna have to get rid of this Izzy person because I think she's gonna one day just spill the beans on us, and we're gonna be screwed.
Mm-hmm. But how do you get rid of her? You have to get rid of her in a double eviction. You can't just get rid of her on a normal week.
And you have to get someone else to get rid of her. You need
Yeah.
to because you need to make it like she's not going to betray you, but she'll be mad at someone else. Like Suri and Jared would need to get like Cameron or Red or someone like that to go after her.
Yeah, and then make it look like they're loyal to her right up until when she goes out.
Yeah,
so that she doesn't sell them out. Because if she feels that she's been sold out by Suri and Jared I think the jig is up anyway. So it's all.
But if you're Izzy, you don't like have an obligation to Jared or Suri if you get voted out. I would totally spill the beans. I'm like, those two, they're related. Bye, everyone.
Even
out the door.
Even if she's going out the door on good terms with Suri.
What does that have to do with anything?
I think she cares about what Suri thinks about her.
Lord, you're in it to win money. You're in it to win money. Stop that.
I just telling you what I think Izzy will do.
I know. I'm just saying, Izzy.
Not what she should do or anything like that. I just think Izzy is very enamored by Suri, a little starstruck, and I think that's working here. Let's have a look at Izzy just for a second. Oh. I just love
Jody, friend of the podcast, and usually on Enterprise at 8 on Mondays. Want to wish a happy birthday to Jeff.
Thank you.
Voted an S tier villain in our Star Trek villains rankings. We ranked 112 Star Trek villains. Jody Simpson made it to the S tier.
S tier?
Oh, yeah.
Where did Davan sit?
Who?
Where did Davan sit?
Well, Davan wasn't actually ranked.
Oh, really?
Only Jody was.
Sometimes with him and Michael are battling back and forth, I do wonder sometimes if where would Davan and Michael sit on that list.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind. We could add them in. It'd be fine. Yeah. So, but check that out, and live long on the podcast. Anyway, back to Big Brother. Big Brother 25, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of these house guests. I feel like I don't know on the show yet. If they're good on the feeds, great. But I just want to see more of them. I just want to see a little bit more of the social interactions. I think these competitions are a little too long in a lot of these episodes. I think that that's all. Just a little tweaking. I think that there's a lot more to get to. I feel like a lot wasted time sometimes.
Yeah. I think the snotting could have been a montage that could have been a lot shorter. I don't need to see the preamble to the snotting. Just show me the different snottings, and then we move on, so we get more of these characters. I feel that's the case. Little minor things. Thankfully they stopped showing the HOH room because that was just a complete waste of time. I do not care that Miss Felicia, got her basket and she got her Fantasia CD that she got to listen to. Actual true story. That's what she picked. Fantasia CD to listen to.
Fantasia, like the Disney soundtrack?
No, Fantasia the musician from American Idol fame. Fantasia.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm familiar.
Okay, that's all right. I understand. I understand, Dave. That's not your. You did not watch that show. You like seeing the HOH. So Sam mentions he likes seeing the HOH room. They don't change the HOH room, Sam.
You get to see a picture. You get to see what kind of candy they picked or whatever.
They don't fashion any clothes from winners in Big Brother US.
No, do you miss the winner segments and the Wendy's? Like, let's go to Wendy's and get the Wendy's breakfast. Were you missing the Wendy's breakfast meal?
Dave, you shouldn't say it like that. Do you enjoy the Wendy's insert whatever promotional item they're talking about this season item, right? So maybe next year they'll talk about like the Wendy's pancakes, and that will be the hot thing that they talk about. I gotta get those. Those are great.
Well, yeah, like there's more in Big Brother Canada. There's just way more sponsorships, paid sponsorships of the advertisers, and they're worked into the segments of the Big Brother of the HOH segments, for better or worse. I would say worse, probably. However, we don't get any instead, we got a lot more like segments with Felicia in the HOH room talking to like Saria and Izzy, and eventually with Cameron, also with in this episode with Heisem. So was it a good edit or not? I guess, maybe, but I feel like, we don't see the HOH room. We don't see, we don't get to know exactly what Fantasia singer, now that that's been clarified. So
I love it. I love it, Dave. I love that you don't know that. And I don't think you understand and appreciate how much I like that you don't know that.
Yeah, I'm not up with the times. Sorry, when it comes to Fantasia.
That isn't current times either. But don't worry, Dave. It's fine.
With the oldies, like Fantasia, I suppose.
Fantasia was on this. She won the season that Jennifer Hudson was on.
That's like a while ago.
Fantasia, yeah.
It's like 15
she was the one with the big mouth from the South.
Yeah, she was. Yes, that's right. I was a big American Idol fan in those
back
days.
then.
Back then, yes.
Yeah.
So, Dave, for me, a good edit is I don't miss out important information that actually progresses the story. So, great things about the current edit. We see a lot of the messiness that's happening in the house. They went back and they saw the reaction that Jag and company had to Riley's departure just before. What they didn't show was Jag lying to people and saying that Felicia, Suri, and Izzy all agreed to vote, and that other people should change their vote because of that. They were trying to like trick people into voting for Riley at the last moment, specifically Jag. So a lot of people felt that Jag needs to go up because he was lying to the house about that and trying to trick people.
Who was trying to trick who?
Jag. See, Dave was so astounded by this information that he had to leave. He's like, how dare Jag do this?
I don't know. It's it's a travesty here on Superman Bros Broadcasting when Dave Vader drops because he goes, Jag?
Who? Jag? How dare he? How dare he lie to the house?
When I said Jag, I squeezed my mouse with some kind of like rigor and I hit the back button, which made me come off the browser page. But yeah,
that's great.
Jody says, "Wait, I'm a Star Trek villain. I guess I will have to watch that." Yeah, well, you'll have to get through 4 hours first, Jody. So good luck.
Good luck.
When I saw part 2, I clapped. I there was no one around me. I just started clapping. I was so happy that it was 4 hours. I'm like, yeah, part 2. That's great.
4 hours of ranking Star Trek villains, guys.
Did all the guests from the first episode come back for the second episode?
Yeah, it was all the same team for both podcasts.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
it was it was everyone involved deserves a medal. Quite frankly.
Oh, that's my Monday morning show at work. I'm just putting that in the background. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, there's a lot to go on there. It took us a while. 112 Star Trek.
112. Love it. So yeah, Jag lied about it. So when you're looking for narratives to kind of craft your nominations, especially to keep Heisem busy, right, and his focus on what's going on, Jag had to go up. Cameron was where the question mark is, and there was a lot of back and forth regarding Cameron going up. And also another thing that wasn't necessarily told, but I think will very much play into later parts of this week, is Red's involvement. Red is seems to be a very important character this week, and we didn't really see that.
He's hardly on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, all right.
What should we segue to next? Because in terms of like the episode, this HOH competition, I thought it was, Felicia, good for her winning, I guess, because I don't, not everything has to be a physical competition. What did you guys here? Well, here, let me just play the clip here for those of you watching along here on YouTube. How about these snottings? They get every few hours with Felicia and every other house guest who had to go through it with her.
Yeah, Amanda said she was like, because she wasn't paying attention at one point, and she was like, "Why didn't she win HOH? Why is she getting snotted?" I was like, "Because it was the Humiliverse."
Humiliverse,
and that's I think it's kind of I think she's like handling it well. So I'm sure that's not fun, especially at 3 a.m. But she's doing the right thing by like making it like helping her build rapport with people.
Yeah. But this is how people like. The house is boring. Okay, the house is boring, and people could just get into a loop where they just game bot, which Izzy does. Right. So when you do stuff like this, where it's out of the contestants' control, where they have to participate or stuff happens, right? It's great for the house overall, right? It keeps things going, keeps things light at the very least. So if they do this all season, which they won't, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I guess it would be. Felicia was in the Air Force. I think she can handle these sort of like punishments and different things through just the training of it all. I think that
Dave, you tell me if they go, Big Brother announces. I wish Big Brother was more of a character on this show. Damn it! But if Big Brother goes, no one in the house for the week can say the word strategize. Yeah. Strategize. Otherwise they get a snotting. You would laugh. You'd be watching live feeds, and then the moment that someone accidentally says that, you'd be like, oh, you'd hear the alarms go off, and you see them walk all the way to the back on the live feeds, and then the snotting will commence. That'd be great if they just throw out random things to screw with people in terms of how they talk or things. That'd be great. I would pay attention to that. I'd be looking forward to that. How many times he got snotted?
Sure, but I feel like there's a but to this. So you mean to say, but
no buts. I'm just saying, do more stuff like that. These are the twists I care about. I don't want twists that like totally take the game out of the contestants' hands, right? Where it's some stupid thing that just messes up the house. Let the house guests play, because the game itself is enough of a twist, is enough of a twisted game for them to unravel.
Right.
Do the fun stuff. Right?
Sure, without making it more complex. Okay.
Well, not complex. I mean, take it out of the heads. If there's like a coup de grace, or some kind of thing that totally screws up the plan for the week just because production wants to get their hands involved. We don't want that. We don't want that.
Right. Okay. Well, a couple of notes here. With this, okay, they said that the people with the bottom 4 scores would be the have-nots, I believe.
Bottom 3 scores.
I thought it was bottom 2.
No, there was two people had 5 and one had 10.
Okay, whoever those people were, I don't even know who those were. That wasn't even mentioned on the episode.
It was mentioned. They did mention it. They did after the challenge. They did mention it. So it was America, Matt, and Red, who were the have-nots.
Right.
Okay, America, Matt, and Red, and then ultimately it gets slimed for winning the competition in Felicia. That's kind of a new thing, but that's the multiverse theme, I guess, is what we can chalk that up to, because it's not the first time they've given punishments to winners. Yeah. Do I have, what it also reminded me of, that's my second point, was Jaemeel, you might remember a show, You Can't Do That on Television.
Yeah.
Right. And what would happen? Do you know what you had to say in order to get the green slime poured on you?
I don't know.
Yeah. And then if you said water, then they would just splash with water. Jeff, do you know what we're talking about?
No.
Okay, well, Jeff's
It's the
a little
first
bit
appearance
younger.
first appearance of Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, she was on the show. It was a show called You Can't Do That on Television, which was about a bunch of kids who were on television doing stuff you couldn't do.
Like skits and stuff. And
Right.
Yeah.
It's an real oxymoron of a title.
No, it was apropos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're younger,
I remember
there you go.
It reminded me of
That looks a little like they should have put a little bit more chunks in the snotting. It looks a little too watery.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It seems like they said it was really cold on the episode, so
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
There was also Blue, who seemed to do pretty well with it.
Yeah.
Which I do have a little bit of that.
If I'm gonna have snot pouring all over me, I might as well strike some poses.
Oh, no, girl.
Yeah. I don't know how many.
I'm a little disappointed. They should have put blue food coloring for Blues.
Blue. I was like, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jaemeel.
No, go ahead.
I was saying to Amanda, I was like, they got red, blue, and America in the house. They need they need white. They need white. Who's gonna take on that name? Nobody.
No, hopefully, I don't know if you want that name. I'm white.
Maybe the guy got kicked out for his name.
Luke.
Yeah, Luke is
Luke White Valentine.
He's been doing press about that too.
I heard he's not too apologetic.
Yeah, which I understand. We've already talked about this. Go back and watch previous episodes. We talked about it. Yeah, you could tell Blue's an Instagram personality,
right?
Yeah, just from the reaction and stuff of like, I gotta look cool and hip while doing it,
and say some cool shit like the whatever slime chic she said or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess everyone has to handle it in their own way. I like Jag kind of just looked down and covered his head. There was
well, I could understand with Jag because Jag has a lot more hair and stuff that he has to worry about.
True.
Right. If his thing gets wet, he has to go take it off, wrap it back up, as opposed to just take a shower.
Somehow Sari managed to escape the sliming.
Yeah, she probably told production, "I ain't getting slimed. Don't stop it.
Don't even try."
Don't
but almost everyone else, except for maybe Nicole and I think that was maybe it. Like the only people who didn't go up there.
Nicole probably look. Truth be told, Nicole probably has her hair in, and she's like, "Look, I'm not ruining this hair I bought for this show. It is supposed to last, for a good set of weeks until I get a replacement and I can do my hair again."
Right.
Do you know what I mean by that, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure that like she doesn't have all of her real hair.
Miko doesn't have all of her real hair.
Most likely she doesn't have like she has extensions, and that extensions are not her real hair.
Okay.
So
Well,
when she gets slimed, oh, watch out.
Yeah, she'll be pissed.
Right.
Pissed.
right. Why did after Felicia got slimed before the nominations, did she keep the goggles on for the turning of the keys?
Probably not enough time. Because look, Dave, I'm like, for me personally,
Couldn't she put them on her head though? Couldn't she at least put them up on her head?
For me personally, maybe it was still running down, so she's like, you might as well just cover my eyes. I hate my stuff in my eyes. I hate it. So
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go along with this plan here, Jaemeel, because if you can clearly see here, she's wearing these goggles. She's already been slimed. There's no reason. There's not a new sliming that's going to happen to her here in the.
It's not like she has
kitchen.
slime in her hair and it keeps falling in her eyes.
Right.
No.
Yeah. As
Maybe
far as
it's
hair goes, she was the ideal person to.
Yeah. Maybe it's a tribute to her favorite basketball player, Horace Grant.
Yeah. she needs a Chicago Bulls uni.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe her brother Denzel can send her one in her care package.
Is Denzel Washington her brother?
Someone should go to grab her at some point, or like like on the shoulder, and she just goes, "Get your fucking hands off me!"
Or someone agrees with her, like Cameron does something for her, and she goes, "My man."
Yeah.
Like one of Denzel's classic lines, one of his most iconic lines. I don't think she looks that much like Denzel
She
Washington.
doesn't look like him at all.
No.
I would say not at all. That's just me. But you can't unsee it once you see it, as Cameron would say. So
she kind of has like a similar smile, I guess, but that'd be about it.
Yeah, Space Cowboy might have had some space cakes that week.
Yeah, he had some space cakes. Guys, what do you think of tonight of the segment here with Matt and Suri and who else was involved in this conversation? I think Izzy was present for it with.
Of course, Izzy was there.
Yeah, talking about his hearing and sort of some of the issues he's faced and challenges and things like that.
Matt's putting in some work. Great job from Matt trying to, he sees where the power dynamic is and he's going straight to it. So that's good.
That is a good sign.
Right.
I can't believe I thought Heisa was my better pick at the beginning, and now I'm thinking Matt is my better pick.
Yeah. Matt is, athletic, great looking. Yeah. Plus the way he connects to people is very impressive. Right?
Yes. And
is Izzy going to turn straight for Matt? Because I'm starting to wonder.
Well, I don't think she's not. I think she's bisexual if she's all hot for Matt. I mean, if you're,
she was by the way, Matt, gorgeous. And he was like,
right.
Oh, thank you.
I think Izzy just understands that, you know how some people are like, I don't know, like, hey, is that guy good looking? And they're like, I don't know, I'm not gay. It's like,
right.
Bro, come on.
Right.
Let's be honest with ourselves, right? You know what traditional beauty standards are, right? Matt fits that traditional beauty standard.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure he does.
Is there a controversy involving Matt, Jaemeel?
Yeah, there was the veto, but details for it are very, very thin. So you can put the other post right after.
Is Hissam the Zach of this from Big Brother Canada 11? I don't see the comparison there.
No, he isn't.
No, I think it's not. They're not the same kind of player, in my opinion.
Zach was like a cult of personality where he was just able to just gather up this group of individuals that blindly followed him for whatever reason. Like Zach was like a more charismatic and mentally stable Paloma. Would be a better example.
More charismatic and mentally stable Paloma.
Yeah, like the way that people followed Zach, and everyone would complain about Zach when Zach wasn't in the room, but the moment that he was in the room, especially with like
everyone fell in line.
they fell in line and they were joking. They loved him.
Right, but not really.
Well, until he was gone, right?
Yes.
Yes. What else are we talking about? Let's see. But Sam comment was more or less about Heisem playing too hard and too fast. I don't believe that's the case, Sam. Heisem's issue is he is poor socially, right? And when I say poor socially, it doesn't mean that Heisem doesn't have friends or can't communicate well. His issue is communicating with different types of people, right? So you can see Sari, she interacts well with a whole variety of people, right? Heisem, you see him difficulty with going from group to group. He does not know that. He doesn't understand, especially when you're dealing with women. And I noticed it this week as well at work. My manager, my ops manager, was trying to talk to a subordinate of mine, and the subordinate of mine kept talking over her repeatedly. And I'm watching as a third party to this situation, and he doesn't realize it. And she also, as someone who's like higher up in the company, shouldn't let that happen, honestly. At a certain point, right? You speak your piece now. It's like, let him know that he needs to calm down. You talk. And I was telling her, I'm like, don't let him cut you off during the conversation, right? If someone was there to tell Heisem that, maybe, but Heisem doesn't know how to talk to people. And the people he doesn't know how to talk to seems to be women.
Yeah. Maybe he just needs a better fashion.
Right.
That's a great suit. It's a great costume.
The hair, it was a good getup tonight.
Yeah. The whole microphone. Yeah, we're just looking at the photo of him here. If you're listening to him from the competition tonight, which was like the 70s style game show host. I thought he was good in that. Okay, so we got the slimy. Ultimately, okay, Cameron and Jag end up here on the block, guys. How do you feel about this result by Felicia? Was this just kind of easy, safe? Like, is it if ultimately if they stay on the block, because let's say Heisem is picked for the veto and he wins, then things probably stay the same. And then what?
Then you deal with the damage control of everyone assuming that Heisem was going to go up and he didn't. And
but who would be who would be the obvious vote out at that point? Would it be Cameron or would it be Jag?
I don't want to answer that question.
Jeff, let's speculate.
I would go to Jag.
Yeah, he seems like the more dangerous player.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Like, to me, if I was Felicia, I would be telling the diary, look, everyone wants me to get Heisem out, and I'll do that if that's like my last resort and I have to like make the week go smooth. But if I were her, I would want to get someone else out, And I also like that whole scene with Sari and Izzy, and they're trying to get their way. Like, Felicia should know, kind of like, okay, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should. Like, why am I going to let them dictate my HOH like that? If I was HOH, I would never like that. I would never want people to like come up, okay, we're getting this person, and that's that, and I think you should make the decision, but you have to be smart about it.
Of course, it's your decision, but just hear me out here. What if this happens? Right. And then you have to start entertaining those conversations until you start going crazy.
Yep.
Basically. Okay, so ultimately, yeah, Cameron here, and
I gotta wait till spoilers.
Don't worry here, but Heisem is fine.
I feel so safe with Felicia.
He feels very safe.
Which I would never say. I would never say that. Even if I was safe, I would never say I was safe.
Okay, well, let's get into the if you're leaving here, we're going into our spoiler section. Post this this episode, post with this particular day in the house, whenever this was. I guess this was probably like day 10 or 11.
Nominations.
No, I guess this was day 17 or 18, probably, right?
Day 18, I believe, was nominations.
Day 18. So we're going past day 18 here in the Big Brother 25 timeline. If you don't want to know, get the hell out of here and check out our other podcasts sometime, like our Survivor podcasts and Big Brother Canada and our United Federation of podcasts, where we have all kinds of different content, ufpodcast.com. But until then, Jaemeel, I think we need to get into the spoiler section. So here, let's go. Get ready.
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know the veto. Who was in the veto, and we'll take it from there.
I got that news. So,
Heisem.
the veto players were Felicia, Jag, and Cameron, obviously. Also in the veto was Red, Corey, and Izzy.
So
no Heisem.
Heisem's not in it.
Heisem was not in it.
Let me guess. Red one.
So Corey, Red, Izzy, and who?
So Corey, Red, Izzy, Cameron, Jag, Felicia.
Okay.
So who do you think won?
I think Red won.
I think Corey won.
Well, Christine Bell was on a procedural Davy show called The Winner, Jag. Wins veto. Jag wins veto.
So that means Heisem's going to get put up.
Yeah. Well, is he? That's the thing. So to really,
are you saying is he or is he?
Is he? Question mark. So I have to go back to the beginning. So a lot of the information came out was how information was detailed, for this plan. So first, America and Bowie were made aware of the plan after Izzy, Suri, and Felicia kind of discussed that, right? But then there were thoughts about putting up Red as a nom because he keeps saying he wants to play in the middle, but also he's in the line. So they're like, okay, well, no, right? But, that was still in the background. Then more people were told about the plan. Next was Matt, Corey, and America. Understand the names that are being told so far. So Felicia, Suri, and Izzy knows. Then America and Bowie, right? Matt, Corey, and America. A good portion of those people aren't in the professors. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Cameron was told he was a pawn, right? Eventually. Matt tells Jag about the plan to backdoor Sam, right? But does not tell Jag that he's going up. So far, let's check the thing. Professors versus the handful. You have Bowie, right? But you have America, Matt, Corey, America, and now Jag, now aware of the plan.
Right.
Where's the professors? Why aren't the professors being, informed about it? Hassan was pushing for Jag and Blue to go up, or Jag and Matt. Okay. Now Jag is taking this opportunity of conversations with Suri and Izzy to want to combine groups, with Jag, Blue, Matt, and Jared teaming up with Suri, Izzy, and Felicia. Right. Now, from Jag's point of view, that's great for him because it's 4 versus 3. Unbeknownst that it's actually 3 versus 4 because Jared is with Suri, Izzy, and Felicia. They supposedly might have named the group already as well, called either the Severe 7 or the 7 Deadly Sins, 1 or 2. Of course, they had to put a number in the name.
Right.
Alone, Jag and Blue say they trust everyone in the 7. Okay. This was just before nomination. So this is up to what we saw on the show. All that information, all the back and forth.
Okay.
So Red wasn't told about the nomination plan before the nominations occur and felt left out. Right? He confronts Izzy about it. Izzy lied, saying she wasn't aware of the plan either, which I would never believe. Right? So Red and Bowie were kind of left out of the plan, really. And we're really the last to know, but not Bowie really, but she kind of says that. Matt details that he wants to get Heisen back because of what happened last week. So more fuel to the fire as to something happened last week with Hassam and Matt. Jared and Blue, I already mentioned earlier about Jared and Blue having a lot of conversations about hooking up. Jared specifically talks about his sex life and all the women he's been with. Blue doesn't really share anything in that conversation at all. They keep trying.
But they're into each other still?
Ish.
Amanda told me there was some sort of Jared. She's like, Jared's annoying because he's talking all about body count and stuff. And that, you know.
And how many women he's been with?
Yeah.
Well, and how many men other women have been with, like Blue or whatever. You know, and like
he
and like judging her based on that and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's like, dude, your mom's on the show. Like, cool it down.
Right.
Mom's on the show. So Izzy is a frustrated Cameron and wants him or Red out because she feels anyone who remains will join forces with Hassam. Like the three of them being like a team is a big worry. So what ends up happening, especially on Saturday, is Izzy starts counting votes and feels that the professors will be outvoted if Hassam goes home. Right? So this kind of sends the group in kind of a tailspin. So first they say, okay, we're gonna vote out Red. They're gonna change the backdoor Red. And then they change their mind, and then they're like, you know what, we're gonna backdoor Mimi, which is McCall. And then they change their mind again and say they're gonna backdoor Bowie, then America, then Blue. Right? Eventually,
who
do you think? It's Izzy, Sari, Felicia. Like they're just they're in a tailspin.
Okay.
So eventually, Bowie, Corey, Jared, Felicia, Sari meet up and talk. Right? Corey and Jared push back. Right? They have a discussion, and then the plan to backdoor Hassam is back on.
After all that.
In the meantime, Cameron and Red are planning to. Sam says, "Get rid of Hassam. He is a strong player." Yes, he is. Cameron and Red are planning on playing together. Cameron is hoping that he'll be able to join the professors once Hassam is gone. Red states he is frustrated that he was not let in on the plan about the Hassam backdoor, and he had to drag it out of Felicia.
Did this happen already? Was the veto ceremony happened? Has that
not yet? Not yet. Sunday's been pretty busy.
Okay.
Which I kind of sent to you in our chat. So California had an earthquake, a 5.1 earthquake.
Right.
And then also there is a storm. Hillary is coming, and there's massive flooding. Even just by the Big Brother house, there is some places with 2 feet of water, literally right behind the backyard.
So they're probably not hanging out in the backyard today?
No, probably not. I think the backyard is closed. It should be, honestly. I have a lot of friends in San Diego, LA, area, and they are trying to take care of everything before it gets really, really bad.
This is a big flood, you're saying? Big storm.
A big storm that's happening. Let's see. There's also another new group that's potentially forming with Bowie, Corey, Jared, Felicia, Siri, Izzy, Cameron, and Red. And they're going to call themselves Make It Happen. And that was Saturday night.
Who's in Make It Happen?
Bowie, Corey, Jared, Felicia, Siri, Izzy, Cameron, and Red.
That's kind of like the professors, basically.
Kind of.
Except Cameron's in there.
Correct.
So the new professors is called Make It Happen.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. If Cameron is one of them, but I don't like Cameron, so why would he get to come in? Because Red's bringing him in.
Because Red's bringing them in.
They want to keep Red happy, so they're gonna bring
Yes.
Cameron along.
So the worry of Hassam kind of forming his own group with Red and Cameron, if they're able to keep Cameron, right, for the time being, and don't need Hassam as the factor, the anchoring factor, then that's good. They just need to really soften and figure out how to figure out and bridge the issues with Red. Because Red is bringing Cameron in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting complicated.
It is, and you know what? A lot of stuff is happening. We've had weeks. We've been doing this for years on end, and it's never been this consistently messy for this long. Usually, there's like a first week blowout, and then things kind of just like stabilize, and then you have a massive group, and it's everyone else trying to figure out things in the background, right? Like the cookout was never,
Right.
they were able to, there was no questions in leadership. They might disagree, but this constant rearranging of bodies is extremely interesting, and there's no twist involved in this. This is just people in a house, just the dynamics socially is just rearranging them by themselves, right? And the game itself, we need what's a stupid thing, the week where they have to team up and they have to compete, the battle of the block BS that they would have to force the house guests to do, that would rearrange everyone. That didn't do anything in terms of dynamics like just a normal situation that we're seeing in front of us do.
No.
So I'm excited for this season. I hope it keeps up.
If they don't get drowned, if they're not drowned in the flood,
if they don't drown. But hey,
well, maybe they just have to build an ark and then just put two of them 2x2 in there, and then they'll be okay. Like,
yeah, we're missing one important detail you didn't really mention on the main show. I'm extremely happy. My favorite competition is finally coming back after a very long hiatus. The next HOH competition is going to be the famous pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're bringing back pressure cooker. Are you? Yeah, that's got to be
very excited.
Yes.
I'm very excited. I hope that just imagine Heisem gets out, but something happens where details are showed and Jag or one of them turn their back on Izzy and Felicia and Suri, and there's tension in the house of what exactly is going to be the dynamics of the household, who's going to win. Everyone's desperate to be in charge, be HOH. That's the show. That's like it going back and forth, and the house pulling and pushing back. Let's see that in action. No, people coming back, and I'm happy that we're seeing like no hints at a possible battle back. None of that. This is exciting. You have one life, you're gone if you lose.
Okay, I'll go along with that.
Sorry, I'm pontificating.
Yeah. Well, it's you pontificate. You're fully entitled. Jeff.
Wait, Sam has a comment about pressure cooker.
Okay.
He says he hopes Kazar hosts it. That'll be great.
Okay, well, guys, any final thoughts before as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of this week?
No, just I think it was a good episode. I enjoyed it compared to maybe last couple. Were a little bit more straightforward, especially the Riley one.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was good. I liked it. It was nice to see it was very different this week, considering who got HOH.
Yep. My thoughts. Sam has indeed settled on a new girl. His new girl is America.
America, yes.
Yes, he.
Read it.
He's feeling red
You
and
want me to
white,
read
but
it?
never blue.
Okay. Dave wants me to read Sam's comment. Sam says, "Did you see Miss Felicia call Blue a hoe?" No, I did not. And
Your reaction, sir.
would it surprise me? No, not at all. Not at all. Maybe she confused hoe with snot chic. You know, maybe that was the confusion.
Perhaps.
Maybe. Well, like, I wonder how Cerie's going to react if like Blue's all over Jared in the house. You know, like how she's gonna be able to hold that back and stuff. Like, see, you know.
Oh, Jeff, honestly, do you think that Cerie will have more problem with Blue or with Jared?
Oh, probably with Jared, but
I think so too.
Yeah. But it's hard not to like give off like facial expressions or act like that doesn't matter to you or whatever. Because that's how Cerie has to pretend, right?
Yeah, I think Cerie's gonna be like, I know the type of people that go on this show, right? And hook up and everything like that. We probably talked about it beforehand. They definitely did. And it's like, you'd be a damn fool if you really you catch feelings, right? Or try to do something to embarrass your household or me on this show. So she probably had a well in-depth conversation with Jared. So I don't think Cerie would call Blue a hoe. She'd probably want to smack Jared upside the head instead. Right. So, well, is that how Cerie gets kicked out of the show?
Yeah.
She smacks her son.
Just something.
Yeah. Jared just goes like, "No, mommy, no." Okay.
Well, thanks, guys. I think this was a good one.
I think it's so too.
We can wrap up for tonight.
We're back in the house, Big Brother house.
We'll be back Wednesday with Foster to talk about things. Jane wants Foster to do an analysis on these challenges to see how often do they make the competitive, how often do they make the random chance, how much are they catering to this older cast, how much are they not. So
I love random. I think it should all be random, kind of.
Should always be random. Well, that's what
random games like they played. Like there was no skill in that tonight.
Yeah,
I loved it.
They could have had a blind contestant win that one.
Yeah,
you could have strategy. There was a lot. You
could try to not you could try not to win. Yes,
and even try not to win. 27 was still a high mark at the point.
Yeah,
true enough. Okay, well, thanks for being with us tonight, guys. Join us later in the week. As we said, check out our other stuff. That we also been covering Marvel this year, called the Mary Mater Marvel Society. Most recently, Secret Invasion. Did we love it? Did we hate it? You don't know. You have to go check out a review. That's how it works here. We don't just give out that stuff like candy. We could be scrolls. Who's to say? And And on that
Jeff,
note,
have you seen it? Jeff, have you seen Secret Invasion?
I haven't finished it.
You haven't finished it yet? Okay.
Oh, you will, of course. We are part of United Federation of Podcasts, which is a network of podcasts by a lot of our great friends. Like we have Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek themed channel. Jaemeel and I created back in the day. Features all kinds of great Star Trek podcasts, like an ongoing review of Star Trek Enterprise tomorrow night, talking about the three-parters, the Augments, the Coal Station 12, and Borderland. Not in that order. I think it's actually the reverse order. But the one where Brent Spiner guest in season 4 of Star Trek Enterprise. We're talking about that on the channel. We're going to be talking. We just finished up Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We have Star Trek Lower Decks in the near future. We just, of course, ranked 100 Star Trek villains. It took us 4 hours. We had Jeff Aiken from the Star Trek Academy Starfleet Academy podcast. I think I should have known this better because I did spend 4 hours with him ranking Star Trek villains. But this is the first time we ever met him. He was a delight to do that with. So we hope you'll check that out. And we have other Locutors of Trek about to also, of course, drop another podcast. I think their season 2 audio debut over on that channel. Lots of great things going on. Check out that in the near future and now. Not just the near future. Trivial Debates also coming up soon with an office-themed episode. Look out for that in the near future. That's where we have a host for contestants, argument movies, TV, sports, war. Also in the network, we have Eamon Mater talk about Eamon on Track. He talked about the band, The Last Waltz, most recently, along with me and Jeff. You can hear all about that over there on that channel.
What's the next one?
White Album.
We're talking about doing the White Album. There's a few ideas, a few things in the hopper. We also might be doing Dark Side of the Moon with Pink Floyd, with Gary Krakolovich, Jane's uncle, perhaps in the near future. So look out for that. X-Rated, the X-Men, the animated review show with Davan talking with the voice of Nightcrawler this week. They have that audio podcast coming up, and the Graphic Histories podcast with Andre Mamet, where he interviews all kinds of interesting, talented, and amazing people for entertainment, comic books, movies, TV, makeup, all kinds of facets. It's fascinating. We got the Hold Up podcast. Jeff Mater coming on this week to talk time travel movies, along with Davin and Murphy. We'll have fun in the mess of it all, Jeff.
It's my first time experience. I'm gonna get chastised by Davin Murphy.
The reaction to Sphere will be great.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll love it.
I don't expect good things from them.
He'll either love it or he'll hate it. So you never know.
Yes. Hold your ground, Jeff.
Yeah.
Is the KBBL Simpsons podcast ever coming back? It's that I can't answer that, Sam.
Sam, bug Davin about it. Don't give up on it. I keep advertising it whenever I host.
That's right.
Davin kind of gave up, but I think he might change his mind one day. So I'm not. I think he should consider.
We'll still plug it.
We'll still plug it. You can check out what he put up already. It's all there. Yeah. Anyway, I think those are all the great shows. Thanks for being with us, guys, tonight. It's been a blast. And on that note, we'll see you next time for all of us here. See you on the flip side. You know it.
See you on the flip side.
If I'm gonna have snot pouring all over me, I might as well strike some poses.
Oh, no, girl.
Yeah, I don't know how many more times I'm gonna do this in the next 24 hours.